Hi everybody, today we are going to be discussing lesson 10.3 in our statistics module. And today it will be all about measures of center. So I am on page 549 and you guys should be following along with me. So measures of center. A data set can contain many values, but sometimes it is beneficial to find a single value that can represent or summarize the entire data set. Measures of center are numbers used to describe the center of a numerical data set. Measures of center you will learn about in this lesson are the mean and median. One measure of center used to describe numerical data is the mean. We also call this the average. Most often you've probably heard of it as the average. And what it is the sum of the data divided by the number of data values. So what if we have 4 test scores? 86%, 90%, 72%, and 88%. What you need to do first is add them all together and then divide by 4. So because you can use a calculator, that's just fine, right? We go ahead and add it together. 86 plus 90 plus 72 plus 88 equals 336, and then we divide it by 4. And when we do that, we find that the value is 84. So what that means is the mean score is 84%. All right, turning the page now to page 550. The mean is the balance point of the data. A dot plot here displays the test scores. The total distance between the values below the mean and the mean must be equal to the total distance between the values above the mean and the mean. So we need to see total distance, right? This is 2 and 4 and 6. 2 plus 4 plus 6 is 12. From the mean 84, this is also 12. So see how both sides are balanced. Now let's work on finding the mean. Here we have a table and it shows the recorded high temperatures in degrees in Fahrenheit for 6 days in Little Rock, Arkansas. So obviously we have 6 data points, right? And we have this list of data. So remember, what we do first is we add them all together. So I'm going to use my calculator because that's just fine. We're going to add 45 plus 52 plus 45 plus 50 plus 49 plus 47. Okay, so once we've added all together, we should get 288. Now, because there are 6 values, we divide it by 6. So divide by 6, which is then 48. So we were able to get the correct answer here. Now, the mean temperature for the selective days is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. The dot plot confirms this. When we look at this here, right, if we add these all together, those below the mean, which is a distance of 3, 3 plus 1 is 7, and those that are above the mean, 4 plus 2 plus 1, we get 7 on both sides, so we know this works. So the dot plot proves our point. Now, do you have to do the dot plot every time? No. It's important, though, to understand how we have a balance on both sides of the data collected. So let's go ahead and try our check here. Top of the page, next page, 551. Once again, we have the table of showing some data. These are the number of headphones sold in an electronics store during a sale. We're going to find the mean. So remember, first step, find the mean. Add it all up. Then divide by the number of data points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pause here. Go ahead and solve. All right, so let's try this. 9 plus 18 plus 7 plus 7 plus 10 plus 15. And we divide by 6. You should have found 11 headphones is the mean. Good. All right, so let's talk about finding a missing data point in when we have the mean. So if we're given the mean, we need to find what the missing value is. Now, this isn't as tricky as you thought. Now remember, steps for finding mean. Steps, whoops, helps to put it in the camera. Too much articulation, there we go. Steps for finding mean. Add all values together. Second step is to divide the sum by the number of values. Now, finding a missing value. Now, much like how we found missing dimensions when we were talking about geometry, we work backwards through the problem. We do the opposite. So, finding missing values, we work backwards through the problem. We start by doing the opposite. Well, what's the opposite of divide? That's to multiply. So we multiply mean by number of values. Okay. And then we subtract instead of add. We subtract the sum of the known values. So see how we're kind of working backwards through the problem? Let's take a look. So here we have Caitlin's quiz scores. 88, 95, 93, 80, and we don't know. Now we know that she has a mean of 90. So the first step that we do here is, we're not even going to use this balance point thing. It's great if you understand how to use it, that's fine. It's a little bit of extra work. But there's an easier way to do this. Remember, first start by multiplying 90 by 5. So here's my calculator, 90 times 5. Okay, so we know then that we have 450. What we have to do now is add these four scores together. 88 plus 95 plus 93 plus 80 equals 356. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, jot this down, 450 minus 356 to find that our final score should be 94. Okay. Now, to double check our work, let's plug it back in. 88 plus 95 plus 93 plus 80 plus 94 equals 450 divided by 5 equals 90. Did we come up with the same mean? Yes, we did. So, work backwards through the problem. That's all you have to do. So, let's go ahead and practice this on example, or let's see. Oh, I guess we don't even have a check. There we go. Let's keep going then. Now, let's look at example 2. Once again, finding a missing data value using the mean. So the number of messages Alex sent on her phone each month for the past 5 months were these values. Her average was 532. We're missing how many messages she sent in the 6 months. So we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need the 6th one. So we start, remember, multiply by the number of values, which would be 6. 532 times 6, we get 3,192. Okay, and this is actually on page 553. Start by multiplying by 6. Add up the values that we know. Okay, 494, 502, 486, 690, 478 equals 2,650. And then we subtract 3,192 minus 2,650. Oopsies, might help if I type in the right numbers. Minus 2,650. Okay. We should have found that the missing value is 542. So we know she sent during the 6 month 542 messages. All right, moving along now to page 554. let's try to check on your own. So here we have the table showing the greatest depths of the 4 of Earth's 5 oceans. So we know here we have 5 values. If the average is 8.094, what is the greatest depth of the Southern Ocean? Round to the nearest hundredth, so 2 decimal places. All right, I want you to go ahead and give this a try. And pause here. Start by taking 8.094 times 5. That's our first step, 8.094 times 5. Okay, here we get 40.47. Now I need to subtract the sum of all of this that I know, 10.92, 9.22, 7.46, 5.63 would be 33.23. And now we subtract 40.47 minus 33.23. We should get 7.24 kilometers. And there you go. So let's keep moving along. Now, let's talk about another measure of center. Another measure of center we use is called the median. Now, median, I think of, is the middle. It's a middle value. But in order to find the middle value, you have to rearrange the data. You have to organize it least to greatest. Okay? So if we're given this data set, I need to make sure that it's in order from least to greatest. Now, because there's an odd number, we're definitely going to have 1 in the middle. So let's talk about it. All I do is I take my fingers, I put them on both sides of the data, and you might want to use a pencil or 2 pencils even if you want, whatever works for you. Ooh, except for I'm throwing them around here. So we're going to slide them in there, and I'm going in together each time, just 1, to find the middlemost value. So here we found that the median is 10 because it's what is exactly in the middle. Another way to do this is to say, well, there's 13. That means there's 6 on one half and 6 on the other half, and whatever's in between those two, that's going to be the middle point. So it's up to you how you want to do that. Now, let's go ahead and try this with example 3. In 2009, between 2009 and 2015, the number of Atlantic hurricanes each year were 3, 12, 7, 10, 2, 6, and 4. First step, organize it least to greatest. The smallest number here is 2. I'm going to cross it out when I use it so I don't make a mistake. 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, and 12. 7, 10, 12. There we go. Now, because there's 7, I know that there's going to be 3 on the lower half and 3 on the upper half and 1 in the middle. So the 1, like this says, how many data values below the median? 3. How many above? 3. So what is the median? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The median is right here, 6. The center of data can be represented by a single value, 6. So the median number of hurricanes is 6 hurricanes. Let's go ahead and try this with our check here. Dinah's scores on a recent science test were 86, 98, 85, 90, 85, 91, 89, 88, and 89. Now, obviously, we see some duplicates in here. Do you need to write it down every time you see it? Absolutely. You need to make sure to include every single point of data. So, first step, let's take a look. What's the lowest value here? I've got an 85. Anything less than 85? Nope, but I have 2 of them. So I'm going to start by writing 85, 85, cross them up. I've got an 86. I'll write down 86. Okay, what's next? In 98, 90, 91. Oh, how about an 88? 88. Then I have 2 89s. Okay, I have a 90. a 91, and a 98. Now, what I like to do is double check. I'm going to count what I have here in my box down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to count up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do I have enough? Yep. I have the same number of values in both. Now, because I know there's 9, 9 isn't easily divisible by anything by 2, so let's go with 8. Let's go below. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. That means there's going to be 4 below and 4 above. My median then is in the middle, 89. Okay, let's take a look. Now, what happens though when we have an even number of data points? What's going to end up happening is we'll have 2 in the middle. And what we actually do if we have 2 in the middle is we add them together and divide by 2. Okay, so let's take a look at this problem. We have the table showing the number of monkeys in 10 different zoos. Now, because there's 10 data points, that's a middle, or an even number. That means we're going to have 2 in the middle. So we do the same steps, add them, organize them from least to greatest, and then we find the median. Now, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I'm going to choose both the 5th and the 6th data value in this list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 5 and 6. That shows me now there's 4 below and 4 above. So these two are our middle points. Now, what do? We actually find the average of these two. What we would do is we would add them together, 25 plus 27, which is, and then divide by 2 because there's only 2 values. 25 plus 27 is 52. Divided by 2 is 26. The two middle are 25, 27, and our average then is our median is 26. So I'd like you to go ahead and try the check now. You can pause here, solve it on your own. We'll see how you did. All right, so remember, first step is to organize it least to greatest, 1.65, 1.97. Okay, what's next? This is 2.35, 2.45, 2.49, 287, 287, and finally 375, because these are costs. So there we go. All right. Now, because there's 8, I know that I have to divide by 2, which is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's 3 values below, 3 values above. I'm going to take these 2 in the middle. Remember, when we have 2 in the middle, I'm going to add them together. 2.45 plus 2.49 equals 494. And we find the average by dividing by 2. This then is $2.47 would be the median value. Okay. All right. Now on to our apply question. As always, please make sure you try this one and email me your answer. The table shows Kendra's 100-meter dash times. Kendra wants to record the measure of center that describes her times as the fastest. Which measure should she use? The median or the mean, and why? So which one makes the most sense? Okay. So I'd like you to go ahead and find the mean and the median and decide which one would be the best description of her times. So give it a try. Email me your answers, and I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions, please let me know. As always, please complete your homework online, and we will see you later.